and that was to go on a little boys trip. Little boys trip. Little boys trip. What have I been up to? Oh, man. You ever just have those days where just like, you don't even know what to do. You just wake up and you're just like, man, I'm going to lay in my bed for hours on end watching TikTok. Been having a lot of those recently. Don't know. Every time I wake up, I don't know what I'm getting into. But, the past weeks have been fun. I've been exploring a little bit. Been around the world. Not really. I left the state once. And that was to go on a little boys trip. Little boys trip. Little boys trip. This is my pal Liam. He's a good guy. He is single. He's obviously not this age anymore. But he's a good guy, and I think he deserves a shot by a single lady. And I know there's a lot of good people because those good people are subscribed to the Odds podcast, of course. And Liam is a very good-looking guy. He's very cute. He is a college athlete. And yeah, he's funny, He's kind of in his own world, but he's definitely a guy that any girl can get along with. He's a little feisty, a little fierce, but yeah, Liam deserves a shot by one of the single ladies out there, preferably a subscriber. So if you are a subscriber and single and a lady, because I'm not gonna come to assumptions here and say that that he only likes girls, but if you are a lady, hit him up. Just hit him up because he's a good guy. But the boys trip, you know what I mean? Like the boys trip. We went down, 6 of us went down to Deep Creek, Maryland, where I've lived there for a while. We had some fun, We got to show him around a little bit, show him where we lived. We went to the fair. I saw a lot of my old friends telling me how much they love the podcast, and makes me really happy. And but the boys trip, we rented a house. We each paid like $160 for the house, which isn't really isn't that bad. It was a 4-day trip. Check in at 3 p.m., check out at 10 a.m. So it wasn't too bad. But the house was really good, except for the part when we walk in and we're looking at everything, and we walk outside and we look above us and there's a balcony, and I'm like looking at the balcony, and then I look down right where my feet are, and there is old throw up from the people that were last in there. And it was kind of gross. It was kind of crusted over a little bit. It was it wasn't corn, but I feel like they definitely ate something of that sort, because there were still like food chunks in there. And I didn't have socks on because we were about to go into the hot tub, but yeah, I almost stepped in it, and that really kind of grossed me out. And then another thing too is that, not to hate on the house or whatever, but we did pay like each pay $160 for it. So I would expect the pool table to have pool balls. You know what I mean? I would expect them to have an 8 ball, to have a 1 ball, to have all of them, because why would you list on Airbnb that you have a pool table but not list that there are 0 balls? So that really kind of threw off the mood for a little bit. But they did have board games. They had Yahtzee, they had Monopoly, stuff like that. We didn't play it, but it's a thought that counts for real. But the experience, amazing. We went up, and the reason for the trip was a golf trip. But we are all broke and very uptight, especially one friend in our group, because he comes from a family, a group of people where they're typically tight with money. So he's extremely tight with money, so he didn't want to golf a whole lot. And but we did go golfing one day, and it was we did the whatever it was. I don't even know what they called it, but it was we got a discount. It was originally, the price was $80 to golf, and we weren't doing that. So we got a discount to golf later in the day, and it was only, the guy said it was going to be $59. So we were like, okay, that's perfect. Better than 80. You tell me why that there is I know there's taxes, that's normal. Why does he tell us that it's going to be $59? Then we go in the next day, tells us $59 still, taxes it up to where it is $72. That's $12 in tax. That's insane. It almost made me, so if we would have went earlier in the day, it would have been $92 to golf. I will say though, that is one of the most beautiful golf courses I have ever been to or seen, honestly. I mean, you look at all the Masters, the PGA Tour golf courses, and obviously it wasn't like that, but it was up there. It was for a course for the high amateurs. It was one of the nicest courses that I've ever seen. And it's a nice course whenever you're driving the golf cart and you don't hit a single bump the whole time on the cart path. It's all concrete, just smooth throughout. No, I don't think there was a single crack in the concrete. It was insane. It was honestly so beautiful. The way they had the grass, and first off, this is what most of all golf courses need to do. Cut the fairway. If you don't got a fairway mower, for public courses, if you don't got a fairway mower, cut the fairway as short as you can, right? Make the rough pretty high, because the higher you make that rough, the better the fairway is going to look. And then everything from the rough, just let it grow. Let it become weeds and stuff and it makes it look so much better. And that golf course was insane. I didn't shoot too bad, but we did a 3v3, and my team won, so I was pretty happy about that. But overall experience for the boys trip was fire. We're gonna do it every year, probably not, but we say that we're probably gonna do this every year. I hope we do. But awesome experience for the first one, and it turned out good. It made it out the group chat, so let's give ourselves a round of applause for that one. But what else have I been up to? I got to go whitewater rafting for my second time ever. I don't know what river is. It's just the New River Gorge River, whatever it is. It was so much fun. So much fun. Our guide, his name was Redneck, and he was the coolest dude ever. I mean, just a no filter, country, wearing jorts like that almost showed that he would have had a case because there was some minors on the boat, so he would have had a case if they were any shorter. Uh, but he's just one of them. He was made the experience so much better. Like he was funny, and he was really nice, to be honest. And he would crack jokes at you and stuff like that. But whitewater rafting was super, super cool. And especially because the first time I went whitewater rafting, it was on a field trip, like 6th grade. And I was fat back then. That wasn't really relevant. But anyways, it was like a man-made river type thing, like for whitewater rafting. So it was just like rapid. But at the New River Gorge, it was just like a rapid and then like a 10-minute float and then a rapid and then like a 5-minute float, then a rapid. But in between, so we did like usually you can go with like a bunch of people, like as like a group and stuff. But what we did is we just picked him and we went out with just him. And so in between, like where the flat like stuff is, and we got to swim, like take our helmets off and got to swim, and got to jump off rocks, stuff like that. And there was even parts where like he would find these rocks that are called undercut. So undercut rocks are like where you can see the top of the rock, but then you go deep and then the water can travel through under it, undercut. So he found a rock like that. And he was like, all right, guys, give me a minute. Goes underwater, stays down there for about 8 to 10 seconds. Next thing I know, pops right up on the other side of the rock. So we all went under the rock, and it was so cool. Like you would think, since you're going down deeper and you're under a rock, you wouldn't be able to see any light. But when you go under the water, it's just, you just see it straight yellow. Like this one, it was in the shape of a triangle. So it was just straight yellow. And I'm like kind of claustrophobic. So like the rocks were like pinned up against you like this, and you're just kind of pushing through your, like the rocks while underwater, holding your breath, trying not to panic, and then going towards the light. But it was awesome. It was unbelievable. And there was even this rock that he called the Green Room, and it was so tight that the place you entered was very small, and it was like your head was literally scraping against the rocks. But whenever you got through, and don't even get me started on the spiders were like this big. It was actually insane. It was kind of freaky. But whenever we got through, it was called the Green Room, and you'd be able to stand up, and it was like this big, like these rocks put together, like 3 rocks put together to make this big room. And it was just like from the moss and stuff and the water and like the sun reflecting through the cracks and everything, it just made like all the rocks shine green. And it was so cool. It was awesome. And I really enjoyed that. And I thought, man, I could be a whitewater rafting guide. You know what I mean? Like I could be one of those guys for real. Because it was awesome. And made me appreciate the river. I love the river. But coming up, we got some stuff coming up. Going to college. This Saturday is orientation. Pretty stoked about that, getting to meet some new people. A little nervous, but I think it'll be fine. But the schedule was pretty packed, and I asked my brother, I was like, hey, what all do we even do? Because the schedule was like kind of confusing. Because it had like all the same, like all the times listed, but everything else was like going on during the same time. So I was like, I didn't know what was happening. But I asked him, and he was like, basically, you just go in there, and you'll find like your advisory, I guess, whatever they call it. And you'll meet everybody, just do the normal stuff. And then I was like, and he was just like, you'll get like syllabuses and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, that's pretty chill. hopefully I meet some cool people, especially like in my class, because like I'm an art major, so like I can find some pretty cool people, I guess, interesting people sometimes. But I'm pretty excited. You know, and also I went school shopping. First off, like school school shopping, like I felt like was like high school type stuff, like elementary type stuff. But no, because I figured I would use my iPad, like what I'm doing now. Like I got notes on my iPad, so I figured I was like, I don't really need a notebook because I can use my iPad and my Apple Pencil, take down notes, have like infinite paper, like. But I still bought some notebooks, and it's like you don't really know what you need to buy because I haven't like college doesn't send out a list. Like you're on your own. Like you are really on your own to find out everything you need and stuff. But they don't like like normally in high school, not even high school, like elementary school, you'd get a list and it'd tell you everything you needed from the amount of glue sticks to the amount of pencils and stuff like that. But I mean, I was looking and I'm like, do I need a sketchbook? Do I need a planner? And it's like one of the most, I hate shopping. Like I genuinely hate shopping, especially up at the mall. Like I just can't stand it. And we're sitting there and we're trying to shop. And all of a sudden we're like in the middle of the aisle trying to pick out pens. It took us like 5 minutes to pick out pens. And all of a sudden we just start getting squeezed in by tons of people, like tons of students. And it's just like, it's one of the most hectic things. Like, do I need a binder? Do I need a folder? Send me a list. I'm not ready for this. Like I might be 18. I might be a legal adult, but I'm still like 9 years old in my mind. Like I have no idea. I don't know how I'm alive living on my own for this long. Like I don't know. I seriously don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. But it's like it's one of those things where you just can't like you don't know what to expect. Like I don't know if my English class is going to be like I'm writing tons and tons of essays or taking tons and tons of notes, or I don't know if my my drawing one class, if I'm going to need a sketchbook or if they're going to just have everything like provided for us there. So it's kind of confusing in that aspect, but other than that, I got like this cool metal mechanical pencil that me and my dad were like geeking out about. I don't know why, but it was just awesome. It's like I got one mechanical pencil, so if I lose it, I'm probably gonna be screwed. And then like 5 pens, which I know I'll lose those in like the first week because I'm terrible at losing pens. But yeah, I had I had a difficult time, school shopping, especially for college, and coming up also, I ordered some new cameras. Well, first, I'm balling on a budget. Okay. All the stuff that we see is the expensive stuff, but everything else I'm trying to ball on a budget. Like I got these end tables, from my grandparents' furniture business for free. And, they don't hold up the mics cause they're so heavy. So I have a 25-pound weight on top of it. So I'm trying to find like weighted decoration, but obviously this doesn't weigh very much. Got this at Hobby Lobby for like $9. Is this worth $9? Probably not. But anyways, I'm balling on a budget. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna order these cameras, right? I'm not asking for anything fancy. I'm not asking for insane amount of stuff. I'm just asking for something that can record, that's not fuzzy, that gets the job done. So that way, because I use my phone right now, and then if a guest comes on, I have to use their phone, which is super annoying. If you're coming on as a guest, you shouldn't have the pressure of having to worry about anything, right? So that makes me a little annoyed, especially because I'm looking at the camera right now. I can't tell if it stopped recording. I can't tell if my storage went full. I put it on Do Not Disturb. Hopefully it works. Like, you know what I mean? So it's very, very stressful. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to order some cameras, right? Balling on a budget. Going to Amazon, looking through. camcorders, right? Okay. People use those a lot. They seem decent, right? $28. So I was like, okay, I'll get two. So I bought them, waited a while, They came and I was super excited. They looked good. They were very, very light. Obviously a plasticky material because they were $28, but very, very light. And, it's one of those things where you just kind of have to trust your gut when you're buying something, because no matter how hard you look, you'll never find a video, unless it's a super popular camera, never find a video of the actual quality of it. So I ordered it, came in, felt it, super, super small, not even as big as my hand, and set it up. Had to wait for someone to bring me an SD card, and I was like, guys, I'm recording. Let's see what it looks like. So I record for a little bit, and we all gather around my computer to watch it. And when we opened that video, dude, that thing was so pixelated. It Pac-Man had better graphics. It was so bad. I don't even know how you can sell that. It was so bad, so bad. And I was moving it around, filming, and it was going in jumps. It was it was insane, and it was just it was such a disappointment. So I wasted $68 on two cameras. So I was like, I got to return these. I have to return these. And I've never returned anything before. So I had to look up. First off, I don't look anything up anymore. If you look stuff up on Google, what are you doing? ChatGPT, it answers anything. You know how you'll have to look something up on the internet. Maybe you have to go to a documentary or something. No, dude. ChatGPT. My go-to is ChatGPT, not Google, not Safari. ChatGPT. So I ChatGPT how to return it and stuff like that. And then I had to figure out a UPS drop-off. So I had to go to CVS. I had to do all this other stuff. But it was just a big waste of time. And so now I'm still using my phone. But I recently ordered some different cameras. I'm still balling on a budget. So I bought these ones off of the TikTok shop. Will they be good? I don't know. I think they were $68 each. So we'll see. We'll see if they're good. They either come in Saturday or Wednesday. I don't remember. But we'll see if they're good or not. And if they're good, then I just need them to be mediocre. But I saw some clips on TikTok. Are they real? Are they fake? We don't know. But yeah, so right now the camera situation has been pretty hectic, but I can't complain. I still got a phone. Will I have to record this again? Probably, because my storage will go full or something, and it'll stop recording. But you know what I've wanted to talk about for a while is WVU football. I'm a big fan of WVU football. Love WVU football, and nobody I've never really talked about it on here. So I just wanted to go ahead and be like, man, how would, and I was thinking about this today. I was like, how will West Virginia perform this season? The amount of pressure that's on Rich Rod because he left in 2007, right? He had one of the best teams in West Virginia history and left them to go to Michigan. How much pressure is on him to have a good season, right? But people are like, oh, there's no pressure. There's no pressure. He's coming from a Neil Brown team. Neil Brown, for how bad of a coach Neil Brown was, he made do with the team we had, right? We weren't great. We weren't terrible. We were just mediocre. So the amount of pressure that is on Rich Rod, this season is insane, I think. I feel as though people don't put it into perspective of how he left us, right? People just see him from a record, which was a great record, And they don't look at the character he was when he was here and when he left us. Because at the end of the day, we're paying this man $3.5 million, right? We're paying this man $3.5 million. And he left us in 2007. Like, I don't understand how we can just come back from that. And sure, he was a good coach. He was a good coach. But that was also in 2007. It's 2025, right? So football has changed insanely. Like Bob Huggins, right? Great basketball coach, amazing basketball coach back in the day. As basketball went forward, he wasn't that great of a coach because he was more of a defensive guy. He thought more about defense and everything, which wins games. Trust me, defense wins games. Look at Houston. Defense wins games. But he didn't have an offense. And now in basketball, everything is offense. If you don't have three good scorers on your team, you're not winning. So back to Rich Rod, it's just one of those things where the older he gets, is he that good of a coach? Because we're looking at 2007 Rich Rod where he was prime football. He had the mind of a prime football coach. Does he have the mind of a prime football coach now? No, not even close. It's not even, you don't even need to say anything. He doesn't have it. But then you go back and look at his records. 2016, he was 3-9. Pretty bad. Pretty bad judging by the fact that he was good in 2007 and now he's bad in 2016. And then you're like, okay, next year, 2017, 7-6. Good job, Rich Rod. Good job. We're proud of you, buddy. You stepped it up from 3-9 to 7-6. That's a huge upgrade. That's an insane amount of advantage of that's an insane amount of improvement. But then the gaps from 2017 to 2023, he didn't coach, right? 2023 season, 9-4. Okay, Rich Rod, we're getting somewhere. 2024, 9-4 again. So that's good and all, right? That's good and all. He's 9-4 the past 2 years, 2023, 2024, even after the gaps of not coaching. Great job. But the thing is, that was with Jacksonville State. I don't know much about him, to be honest. Didn't do my research on him. But I don't think they have that hard of a schedule. West Virginia is this season is having one of the hardest schedules that we've seen in a while. Okay? Will he be able to move from a easy, semi-easy Jacksonville State schedule to a West Virginia schedule that's harder than it has been in a long, long time? So is Rich Rod old and washed up, in my opinion? Yes, I believe so. I think he's old, washed up. I think that West Virginia, if I was in charge of hiring a head coach, I would choose someone young. And I'm not talking like 40s. I'm talking young, like 30s. Because a young coach can always learn. This is how I view it. A young coach can always learn, right? An old coach has its mind made up, has what it thinks it knows, and doesn't want to switch from that. Okay? Because an old coach is always right. Younger coaches, and this is the truth, younger coaches can admit when they're at fault and when they need to switch something up. Older coaches can't. They don't want to say that it's them. They don't want to say that it's their system. They just want to blame it on the players, okay, or something else. But, and then another thing too, we haven't even heard, I haven't even heard anything about West Virginia football let alone who's our starting quarterback. We have 4 guys that could possibly still be competing against each other for that starting spot. And not even to say that they're all lefties. I love a lefty quarterback. Wide receivers hate them. Hate them. The spiral on the ball is different. It's harder to catch. It comes out weird. They have to roll left. All the plays have to roll left because with a right-handed quarterback, you can roll left and throw right, right? You can roll right and throw right. A quarterback, man, when you're rolling right and you got to throw left, it's so awkward. It's one of the most awkward things out there. So we haven't even heard who the starting quarterback is going to be for this season. Which I've seen pictures of the football team, and they look like the best shape they've been in a while. But I want to know who the starting quarterback is. I want to know who's going to be leading our team. And I don't think Rich Rod has found that. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. Because as a West Virginia fan, I want them to succeed. The best thing that can happen for Rich Rod right now is to go 9-4. But we don't want that. West Virginia shouldn't want that. We don't want to, why would we hire a guy? I'm going to put it this way. I would rather hire a guy that doesn't have a record for college football, right? Than hire a guy who's been the same record all of his career. Okay, I would rather have a younger guy with no college record than the same coach that's mediocre all the way down. Because with the younger guy, it's either terrible or it's going to be better than what he's seen, better than what anybody's seen for him. And then as he's going up, because he's younger, he can adjust with the game. His mind is more fresh. Old traditions don't work for how fast the game is moving. For every sport. Every sport is techniques and everything is moving so fast. Everybody's getting stronger, faster, better. So if you have a younger coach, they will be more successful. At the start, maybe not. In the long run, yes. There's my hot take. I'm very passionate about West Virginia football. And Rich Rod, I hope you do good. No, he's not going to see this, but I hope you do good. The Odds Podcast is almost at 50 subscribers. So if you like this video, please subscribe, like, turn the notification bell on to never miss a video. And I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.